I've been playing some old games recently. I've tried some Baldur's Gate. I've played some Age of Empires 3. I went and got myself Warcraft 3 installed again. And I gotta say, despite the fact that the old games have absolutely abysmal graphics and the quality of life isn't there, for some mysterious reason, they are far more entertaining. They are far more entertaining than any game that came out recently from a Western corporation. And one of the main reasons for that is that back then they would hire professional misogynists, as the game journalist likes to say, which didn't care about political correctness and didn't care what their teammates would post on Twitter, but they would just care about making a product that people wanted to buy. And they were very creative individuals as well. I mean, the idea of combining a strategy game with an RPG sounds absolutely crazy, but it worked. Like, Warcraft 3 is one of the most renowned games on Earth, and then we found out that Blizzard was rampant with misogyny, and most of the people that did create that game had to be fired, and we get to reap the results. You know, apparently they couldn't find other people that weren't misogynistic but were capable of creating good games. I don't know how to explain that, right? But it's not only that. Like, when they remake games, the first thing they do is they sanitize them. It's like, okay, we need to remove this joke, we need to remove this comparison, we need to remove this character. Oh, that woman has a plump ass. No, she has to go. Put one that looks like she's transitioning. Like, that's what we get in. I mean, these are the priorities now, right? And it's funny because if you mention it, people freak out. It's like, well, why are you pointing it out? Or, oh, it's not like that. What did you want? I mean, no, seriously, their definition of misogyny, their definition is not what normal people use. Like, they are saying that the Wukong Studios is misogynistic. I don't think it is. And the people who work there don't think it is. But the game journalists think it is. In other words, like, fire the competent people that work there and put our grifters instead. That's what they're trying to say. And as we can see, the grifters are incapable of making anything because most of the games now look cookie cutter. Almost every single game that comes from the West now is over-the-shoulder crap that is set in a dead world where you have like this huge vast of empty space where you go from point A to point B to get a quest. And then you farm and you get some XP. The farming is so that you spend more time in the game to trick you that the game is actually bigger than it already is. And you have like some dialogues that don't really matter. And you have eyesores. Like, the entire games are filled with eyesores. And all of the games are like that. Whether it's coming from Ubisoft, whether it's coming from another company, it's over-the-shoulder shit in a dead world. Every single one. But that's not enough, right? Because people aren't buying it, because they notice that people are downvoting the game. So now they're trying to milk the customer of money. Right? Like, these companies that are left-leaning oriented, they care about the marginalized folk, they care about poor people, they can't figure out how to take more money from those poor people. Like, someone goes and slaves in the wage cage, and when they get home, if they want some entertainment, they have to cough up around $100 to get it. And you know, it would be interesting if they actually cared about the product. It would be interesting if they put soul and compassion into it. But what's happening now is that if you want to play this game 3 days earlier, they are charging you $130 for the privilege. And there were people dumb enough to pay. Because, well, you get all these other bundles and maybe you support the company, right? So if you happen to want to support the company doesn't want to support you. Definitely doesn't want to support your wallet. Because what they did is they released a game that was incredibly buggy. So the enjoyment at launch is definitely not there. But on top of that, they're now releasing a day one patch, which asks you to erase your saves. Like, they said that if you have any saves, you should erase them, because if you don't, then you're going to end up with game-breaking bugs down the line, and there's even stuff which doesn't allow you to progress any type further. So I just want you to understand, they are aware of this. Like, this isn't some indie company releasing their first game. This is a quadruple A company. This is Ubisoft. They know that their game is buggy, and yet they're releasing it anyway. Because their profits is what's important. It's not your enjoyment. It's not your entertainment. It's not like Blizzard used to be, who would be like, okay, well, shit, we want to release the best game we can, and we're not happy with it, so we're going to spend more time developing it until it's ready. And you're going to get it when it's ready. I understand it's upsetting. I understand you have to wait. But at the end of the day, we want you to experience an amazing product. We're not going to charge you extra for playing it early. We actually have our beta testers in-house. They're going to play test the game. They're going to make sure that the product is as good as it can be. That mentality is gone. It just doesn't exist in the gaming industry. What exists now is that they would rather spend money on marketing than to polish the game. They would rather spend money on armies of bots and shills and paying content creators to shill their game. And they will try to gaslight and have like marketing teams that insult the customers if they do not have the same vision of diversity and whatever they're trying to push. Like this is what their priority is. That is the product. It's almost like the product is the diversity, inclusivity, and equity. Like that's what they're actually creating. That's what they're focusing on. And the game is just like the vehicle to push that for the masses. And the masses have to pay for it so that they can create another game in order to push the same slop. And it seems that it's not working. Now, this was the thing that I'm really glad it didn't work, right? Because, like, all the reason that they're charging you so much is so that you get to buy this. Now, if you buy this, you don't own any of the games. So basically, when you... this is like a version of Netflix, but for video games, right? You pay $18 a month, and you get more than 100 Ubisoft games. And as long as you keep paying, as long as you keep paying $18 a month... you maintain access to these games. But the moment you stop paying, the moment you don't make a payment for that month, you lose all your games, you lose the account, you lose the saves until you pay again. So why is this bad? Well, it's bad because, like, number one, they can always increase the price, right? So sure, it's $18 now per month, but what's to prevent them from not making it $25 the next month? And they can justify inflation, they can justify increasing costs, right? But also... is the fact that now shit games wouldn't matter that they're shit. So, like, if you have, like, Star Wars Outlaws, right? And no one likes it, no one plays it, well, it doesn't matter because people are still paying this, right? And this would have worked if more than half of the gamers would have signed up for it. So this is what they thought. They thought that, well, no one is going to pay, like, $130 for a game to own. Instead, what people are going to do is that they're going to pay $18 for the subscription fee with Ubisoft, and then we can bring on the censorship, then we can harvest their data and sell it to third parties, then we can listen in to what they're talking while playing video games, right? Then we get all of these other perks, and on top of that, we get like a steady revenue, and it doesn't matter if we make shit games or not, because our investors are going to forward a lot of the costs. You know, maybe we can get some tax write-offs from government, some government grants, some BlackRock money, and then we can just publish games, we can just push it on the market, and it doesn't matter if they're not popular, it doesn't matter if anyone doesn't play them, as long as people just keep paying the monthly subscription. I am so fucking glad that gamers said no. This could have probably worked a couple of years ago, when companies still had the good graces, but now companies have managed to completely destroy their brand. They have managed to completely disconnect themselves from their market, destroy their reputation. Like, now, if a new Ubisoft game is announced, I can even describe it to you. I can tell you what the new Ubisoft game is going to be like, right? It's going to be based on something that already exists. So it's either going to be a sequel or it's going to be in a universe that's already established. Like, they're not creating their own universes anymore. You're going to have over the shoulder, stuck in an empty world, very, you know, the environmentals will look good, but they will not use the word female or male. It's going to be body type A, body type B. The female characters look like they're on crack from California. And the game will be broken at launch. You're going to have all these bugs at the launch date. All the game journalists will love it, but all the content creators will absolutely hate it. Zero innovation, zero creativity, just like same of the old shit. And this is what people expect from Ubisoft now. It's like McDonald's. Like, you go to McDonald's, you know exactly what you're going to get. They don't reinvent the menu. They don't reinvent something new, right? Because they don't have a chef there. They have like the exact same ingredients and the exact same formula. Maybe the packaging is different. So yeah, really disappointing time to be a gamer. I do not see myself with my son 17 years from now playing any of the games that are coming out this year, or the year that came before this, or probably even the next year as well. I do see myself playing a lot of the old games though. Like I do see myself playing Warcraft 3, playing Heroes of Might and Magic. I do see myself playing those games, but I don't see myself playing any of this shit. Let me know what you guys think though, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.